Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome inside the UNI-Dome here on the campus of the University of Northern Iowa in Cedar Falls for Game 2 here on Day 1 of the 2022 Doc Halverson UNI-Dome Classic. I'm David Warrington alongside Eric Braley and the Omaha Mavericks. We just saw them in action a while ago here on ESPN3. They're right back to it. They'll be taking on in-state Iowa State Cyclones. So getting close to opening pitch, as Omaha are the visitors here in this game. As see the batting order on your screen. Elsie's going to lead it off, Tucker and White. Then Ross follows. Johnson, the big hitter from last year, batted .308, 16 RBIs. She'll bat in the 5 slot. Sedlak bats 6th. Weber is 7th rather. Cervini, and then Maggie O'Brien rounding out that lineup. Mike Hurd, in his first season as the head man for the Omaha Mavericks, just had his debut as the head coach of Omaha. Comes in with a career record of 0-1. As now for Iowa State, they'll be out in the field first. And we'll take a look at the starting defensive assignments for Iowa State. We got Spellhog, Ramos, and Ochoa in the outfield. Pond, Ronchez, Simpson, and Allen around the infield. Swain is going to be in the circle. And Ramos, Michaela Ramos, will be behind the plate doing the catching duties for Iowa State. Swain, a sophomore from Paris, Texas. As second pitch swung on over to second base. Play is going to be made. First out of the side as the routine play made over there at second base. Pitch on the way. It's going to be chopped. Stays fair. That's an awkward play to have to make, and they're not going to have a chance at it as it went over the head of the third baseman, Pond. White digs in for the 3-2. That's going to be low and gets away. Catcher does wrangle it in, but that's going to be ball 4. And now we got first and second for Omaha.
Omaha tomorrow plays Drake at 2:45 and UNI at 7:15.
And that's going to be an inning-ending double play. Sent to Ronchez at shortstop. Quick hands, quick reaction time. She makes the play, throws it over to second to retire the side. Here's a look at the batting order for Iowa State. Spellhog will lead off, followed by Ramos and Allen. As Spellhog, wearing number 1 for Iowa State, playing left field today, will bat first. And we've got Ochoa, Pond, and Marin. Ronchez, Simpson, and Ramos round things out. Head man for the Cyclones is Jamie Pinkerton. Pitch on the way. That one's going to be low, and a 4-pitch walk. As Spellhog gets on, we'll see if she's going. As like you said, she has great speed. Didn't get caught stealing once a year ago. She batted .365 a year ago with 13 home runs, so watch out for some power out of Ramos. As that first pitch bounces, Spellhog moving, and she'll be in without a throw at second base. No problem getting to second there for Spellhog. As now runner in scoring position for the Cyclones. The sophomore out of Elkhorn, Nebraska, getting the start in the circle for their second game. Ramos rips that one, but it's misplayed at shortstop. And there will be no throw, as that's going to be ruled E6. Count remains full after the foul ball. Runner still on first and second. That one swung on. Sent out in the left center field. Nobody's going to get there. It's going to bounce over the wall. That's a ground rule double. And that will put the Cyclones on the board. Spellhog will be allowed to score from second as the ball went over the fence. 1-0 Iowa State. Neusmer sends the 2-2. Swung on. Ripped into the shallow right field. That will score at least 1, and that's all it will score as the throw is in quickly. But Michaela Ramos crosses the plate for the Cyclones. RBI single for Malaysia Ochoa. It's 2-0 Cyclones.
Just is a dynamic player who can play multiple positions for Iowa State if called upon.
That one's ripped past the shortstop. That's going to score two more runs for the Cyclones. As a 2 RBI single ripped into center field for Pond. The Cyclones up to a 4-0 lead, and there's still nobody out.
Do you go before you think about making a pitching change?
That one swung on. That's going to be a double play. So a huge play there for the Mavericks to get 2 out. As was a hot shot over there to third base. Jamie White made the nice grab and makes a strong throw over to first base. 2 quick outs for the Mavericks. As here we're going to see the defensive lineup for Omaha. We have Sedlak, Elsie, and Weber in the outfield. White, O'Brien, Tucker, and Johnson playing the infield. Ross is behind the plate, and Sydney Neusmer, the sophomore, in the circle for Omaha. As that one swung on, it's going to get to the fence. Rounding first, easily into second base. As a stand-up double for Alicia Ronchez, the shortstop for the Cyclones, sends one into the gap in right center, and she's aboard with a 2-base hit. That one popped up high in the infield. It's going to be handled by White at third base. That will retire the side. Cyclones score 4 in that opening inning. Now the Mavericks try to respond in the top of the second.
They're playing in the next game. They're getting warmed up on one football end zone.
Johnson sends that one into the shallow outfield, but the second baseman ranges over and makes a nice play. Simpson was about halfway into center field when she finally ranged that one down.
You just got to chip away at this deficit and hope that you keep Iowa State off the scoreboard in the second inning.
There's a nice rip into right field, but they're going to come up and make the throw, and she's out at first base, and a 9-3 ground out. What a play from right field for the Cyclones, as that was Malaysia Ochoa making the play from right field.
Had a couple of doubles, no other extra base hits.
Swings through that one to retire the side. Nothing across, no hits for Omaha in the top of the second, so she's got some extra base power. 1-2 pitch. Swung on, sent deep into right center, and that thing is way gone. Ramos with a home run, and there was no doubt about it. Sent it into the stands here in the UNI-Dome, and the great start continues for Iowa State. It's 5-0. Ramos gets that one to leave the field of play.
And Carly Spellhog hitting .323, but I love her on-base percentage last season for Iowa State, as it was right around 400. Played a game as they fell to the Nebraska Huskers.
That one ripped into the left center field gap. It's going to bounce for a ground rule double, and that'll be another run for the Cyclones, as Spellhog will get to take the nice easy trip into home plate, as that one left the field of play. Ramos with the RBI. As you see, she showed bunt, then pulled back. And that pitch is taken low for ball 4, a 4-pitch walk, as Allen now stands at first base, first and second for the Cyclones. Ochoa rips that one into the outfield. That's going to score another run for Iowa State, as there is no throw to the plate. It's a double for Ochoa, and it's 7-0. Iowa State continues to put up more and more runs,
so that they could be ready to have a good season.
Chapman gets the strikeout there as Pond swings and misses at strike 3. So nice start there for Chapman. 1-2 the count. 1-2 pitch on the way, swung through, and that's going to be a strikeout there for Chapman. 2 away for the Mavericks. Full count, as that one's going to be taken just outside. They get ball 4, and Ronchez makes her way down to first base. Now the bases are loaded for Casey Simpson. 2-2 pitch taken high and maybe a touch outside, as that will bring the count full 3-2.
Might have hit her.
Yes, you're right. They did just get her. And that's tough, because that automatically brings home the run with the bases loaded. 3-2 pitch from Chapman. And that'll bring home another run, as that's ball 4. Ochoa crosses the plate for Iowa State. And now they lead 9-0. 3-2. Pitch taken, and they're going to call that one for a strike 3. So finally the Mavericks get out of the inning, but not before. The Cyclones bring across 5 runs, take a 9-0 lead.
A team plays 2 games on one day or 1 game on another. That ball hung in the air forever.
No throw to be made, as Ramos fielded it out of her catcher position, but like you said, the ball just bounced and was in the air for an eternity, seemingly so. But we'll take the hit any way you can get it, as now she stands on first base just as if she would have lined one into the outfield. That one is lined up into the outfield, just as I say that, into center field. And another hit, Maggie O'Brien lines one to the center fielder. And now they've strung a couple hits together. That's good to see. Omaha certainly not giving up here with the big deficit, which is favorable to any team on offense. That one swung on, chopped to second base. Little underhand throw gets the out, but that does put Omaha on the scoreboard. Elsie get the RBI ground out as Cervini comes across the board. 9-1. Iowa State leads it, but Omaha is on the scoreboard.
15 games, as we are in game 2 of 15.
That one chopped to shortstop. She looks over to the runner at third, makes sure she stays put. and then sends a strong throw over to first to get the out.
Our engineer, Michael Reber, and all of our crew members.
That one's lined into left field. That will get the run across. She's going to take the big turn and head for second. She is in there with no problem. RBI double for Jamie White. She got a good piece of that one. Swung on high into shallow right field. The second baseman will take care of it, and that will retire the side as Simpson makes the grab. 2 runs across for Omaha on 3 hits.
Athletes are so used to playing multiple games in one day, where you might play 2 back-to-back or play a game and then have a game off. 7 total hits in this game for Iowa State.
Chapman loses her as once again Chapman gets it full and can't get the out. We've seen that several times for her.
Players on base with no outs.
Ochoa sends one into left field. Catch is going to be made. Nice routine play out there in left field. Had to move a little bit to make that one. Did Sedlak. That one swung on, hit hard off the glove, and it's going to go over the fence. So that will score 1 run. Ramos will get to go in from second base, as that was a line shot. Sedlak couldn't quite catch up to it. It tipped off her glove, but she couldn't make the play.
Trying to lift.
Chops that one over to third. White looks at the runner, now throws over to first base and gets the out. And that will be the second out of the side. Much needed out for Omaha.
You didn't know Oklahoma is good. They won their 5th NCAA softball championship last season. They're the defending Big 12 regular season and tournament champs. There's teams like that awaiting the Iowa State Cyclones. They look good today as they prepare for Big 12 competition.
Called strike 3 ends the inning. We've played 3. It's 10-2 Iowa State on top here in Cedar Falls. It's really as a stacked field of Midwestern softball teams. Iowa State's going to be a very good team. We'll see some more good teams. South Dakota State, UNI, to name a couple, as that one's popped up. And the play is made by Allen at first base for the first out of the side. And to range over just a little bit, but makes the catch.
These are guaranteed games for all these teams.
Alexa Sedlak gets a piece of that one. It's going to be caught by Ochoa out in right field. She ranged back and then saw she needed to come up a bit. Makes the catch for the second out.
Good.
She had an RBI walk earlier today. Also flew out. Lines that one right back to the pitcher. And Chapman wasn't able to get a glove on that one, as that'll be a single for Simpson.
They want more production.
There's a high fly ball. It's going to be fielded by O'Brien at shortstop. She makes the play for the out. 1 down here in the bottom of the 4th.
Spellhog last year hit .323. The year before she hit .319.
Chapman's pitch bounces, and they're going to get Simpson trying to advance to third base. She is out. Nice throw from the catcher, Sydney Ross. That one taken outside for ball 4. So Spellhog for the 3rd time today is going to take the walk over to first base. Ramos gets a bunch of that one. Deep left field. It's going to be caught out there to retire the side. She gave it for a ride, but Sedlak ranges back and makes the catch. Then they have Drake and UNI on Sunday. So no rest for the weary here, as Iowa State just getting started. That one ripped down the third base line. And Cervini is going to be on with her second base hit of the night.
Do what she can to solidify herself in this lineup and help her team.
She slaps at that one. It's going to be called foul late.
She touched it in foul territory. And again, we're playing on a football field here.
Here in Cedar Falls, new pitcher is Ellie Spellhog. Carly Spellhog was the leadoff batter, as that is going to be a ground ball fielded. Throw over to third base and gets the force out there. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Spellhog, the junior out of Bettendorf, Iowa.
With 12 starts. So chances are if Iowa State's playing a game, you might see Ellie Spellhog in the pitching circle.
That one looked at for strike 3. Tucker strikes out looking, and all of a sudden we're 1 out away from this one being over.
David is a student at the University of Northern Iowa, and your first play-by-play on an ESPN broadcast. You're doing a heck of a job, and excited to work with you more in the future.
I appreciate that, as that will do it. Line drive caught by Allen down the first base line, and Iowa State will come away with a 10-2 dominant win in this season opener to move to 1-0 on the year.